Ladies and gentlemen, each morning you awake, you are handed a blank check by the universe, a brand, new opportunity to decide who you are and what you shall become. Yesterday's failures, yesterday's doubts, yesterday's mistakes, they are but smoke in the air. They do not own you unless you give them permission. You are not bound by the chains of your past unless you choose to wear them. In truth, there is no old you. There is only the you that you decide to be from this moment forward. It is the power of thought, sustained by desire and directed by faith, that carves the path to your destiny. You must see yourself not as you were, not as others have told you that you are, but as you wish to be. Close your eyes for a moment and summon the image of your highest, most powerful self. See that version of you smiling, walking with certainty, speaking with authority, creating the life that you desire. Hold that vision with the grip of a champion who refuses to be defeated. Every great achievement the world has ever witnessed began with one individual who dared to believe in a vision no one else could yet see. They believed when there was no proof. They persisted when there was no applause. And because they persisted, the world was eventually forced to acknowledge the reality they had built first in their mind. Today, you have that same power. You have within you the seeds of greatness, but seeds do not bloom unless planted in the soil of faith and watered daily with action. When fear whispers in your ear, stand taller. When doubt creeps into your heart, push forward one more step. It is in those moments, and those alone, that the old you begins to crumble and the new you rises in glory. Do not wait for permission. Do not seek validation from the timid and the small-minded. The fire that will forge you can only be found inside your own soul, lighted anew each morning with the match of decision and the fuel of unwavering belief. Your circumstances are but the reflection of your past thinking. If you desire a new life, think new thoughts. If you seek a new reality, build it first within the workshop of your mind, and do so with the conviction that the world bends not to those who wish, but to those who will. The old you is a ghost. It cannot harm you. It cannot hold you. It vanishes the moment you truly commit to the vision of who you choose to become. Would you also like me to create a shorter, even more powerful version you could actually listen to every morning? Fire kind of like a 2-minute pump-up. Every morning offers you a sacred gift, the power to begin again. Each sunrise washes the slate clean of yesterday's fears, doubts, and mistakes. It does not matter how many times you have fallen, how many promises you have broken, or how many dreams you have let slip through your fingers. The dawn brings with it a mighty invitation to consciously create the person you choose to become. It is the nature of life itself to offer renewal, but it is up to you to seize it with both hands and mold yourself into the image you envision. You are not a prisoner of your past unless you choose to be. The mistakes you made, the opportunities you missed, the words you regret, they are all but chapters in a book whose next page remains unwritten. The true authorship of your life lies not in the history already recorded, but in the pen that rests firmly in your hand today. What will you write? Will you draft a story of courage, of resilience, of triumph? Or will you allow the echoes of yesterday to dictate the melody of today? The moment you open your eyes in the morning, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads backward into the familiar comfort of habits and limitations. The other path leads forward into the uncertainty of change, growth, and the realization of your highest potential. At that instant, you are gifted the supreme power of choice. This is not merely a poetic idea, it is a practical, tangible reality. Your first thoughts upon waking set the tone for your entire day. Your attitude in those first minutes crafts the lens through which you will view the world. Recognize the magnitude of this, and you will understand that you hold the key to transformation every single day. When you awaken, you must deliberately cast off the old skin of who you were. You must refuse to wear the identity stitched together by past errors, disappointments, and smallness. Instead, you must step into the light as the architect of your destiny. Begin by speaking words of power into your own mind. Affirm who you are becoming. Declare with absolute certainty that you are a being of strength, of limitless possibility, and of divine creative force. Refuse to negotiate with your fears and doubts. Refuse to entertain the idea that you are anything less than capable of achieving greatness. The old you will try to call you back. It will whisper familiar excuses into your ear. It will tempt you with the ease of comfort and the security of routine, but understand that comfort is the enemy of growth. The mind that seeks only what is easy will find itself shackled by mediocrity. It is the mind that demands excellence, that chooses the difficult path, that willingly embraces discomfort, which rises to the heights of success. Each morning is your battleground, and victory belongs to those who choose consciously and act decisively. You are not merely waking up to face a day, you are waking up to forge a life. Life is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. Success does not come to those who sit idly by, hoping for fortune to smile upon them. It comes to those who greet the morning with fire in their belly and purpose in their heart. It comes to those who know that every small action, every small thought, builds either a monument to success or a tombstone of regret. Understand, too, that the greatest enemy you will face each morning is not the world outside, it is the world within. It is the voice that says you are not ready. It is the hesitation that urges you to wait for a better time. It is the doubt that questions whether your dreams are truly possible. Recognize these voices for what they are, remnants of the old self, desperate to survive. Look them squarely in the eye and say, "Not today." Affirm your power. Affirm your choice to become something more, something greater than you have ever been. In practical terms, begin your mornings with intention. Do not allow yourself to drift into the day as a ship tossed by unseen winds. Set your course deliberately, write down your goals, speak them aloud with conviction, visualize your success with such clarity that it feels as if it has already been achieved. Engage your emotions in this process, for emotion fuels the magnetism of your thoughts. The stronger the feeling behind your vision, the faster it will pull itself into your reality. Each morning you must reintroduce yourself to the dream. You must look in the mirror and see not the reflection of who you were yesterday, but the image of who you are determined to become. See yourself succeeding. See yourself standing victorious over every obstacle. See yourself living the life you were born to live. The more vividly you can see it, the more surely you will move toward it. Remember also that transformation is not an event, it is a process. Each morning builds upon the one before it. Each deliberate thought, each intentional action lays another brick in the foundation of your new life. Do not be discouraged if change does not come overnight. Great empires are not built in a day. Stay loyal to the vision, stay loyal to the process, and know that with each passing day, you are erasing the old self and giving life to the masterpiece that is the new you. Morning by morning, choice by choice, action by action, you are crafting a reality that reflects your highest ideals. Refuse to waste the morning hours in apathy or doubt. Refuse to give your power away to fear. Rise with determination, rise with clarity, rise with the unshakable knowledge that today you have the power to begin again. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. The life you desire is waiting for you to claim it, one morning at a time. Belief is the starting point of all achievement. It is the unseen root from which the tree of success grows tall and mighty. Persistent belief is not a wishful hope, nor a fleeting thought that drifts through the mind without taking hold. It is a fiery conviction planted deep within the soul, one that refuses to be extinguished by circumstance, by failure, or by the opinions of others. When belief is steady and unshaken, it begins to shape the thoughts, words, and actions that move a person toward their vision. It gives direction to the mind, energy to the body, and a magnetic force to the spirit. Action is the physical expression of belief. Without action, belief remains dormant, like a seed left ungerminated in dry soil. But when belief and action are united, they form an unstoppable force. The individual who believes with unwavering faith and acts with relentless persistence bends reality to their will. The circumstances, the opportunities, the people needed for success begin to arrange themselves like iron filings drawn to a powerful magnet. What once seemed impossible begins to unfold in ways that logic alone cannot explain. Thought is the first cause of all creation. Everything you see in the world around you, every building, every invention, every fortune began first as a thought in someone's mind. The chair you sit on, the device in your hand, the very clothes you wear, all of it, was once an invisible idea that someone dared to believe in and acted upon. It is no different with the life you wish to create. If you hold the vision steadfastly in your mind, fuel it with emotion, nourish it daily with faith, and move toward it with purposeful action, it will take form in your external world as surely as the sunrise follows the darkest night. The bridge between thought and form is persistence. Most individuals are willing to dream, far fewer are willing to persist. The dreamers of the world are many, but the achievers are few. Why? Because when obstacles arise, as they always do, it is persistence that carries one over the chasm of difficulty. It is persistence fueled by belief that whispers keep going when the road seems endless. Without persistent belief, the mind falters at the first sign of hardship, retreating into comfort and safety. With it, the mind presses on, seeing each obstacle not as a signal to quit, but as a stepping stone toward mastery. Reality is not static. It is fluid, shaped daily by the thoughts and actions of those who dare to believe they can mold it. Your present circumstances, no matter how fixed they may appear, are the result of past thinking and past actions. They are not permanent. They are not immovable. They are merely the outer expression of inner conditions, and inner conditions can be changed at will. When you persistently believe in a new vision of your life and act in alignment with that vision, the old reality begins to dissolve and a new one takes its place. Many surrender their dreams because they expect instant results. They plant the seed of desire and grow impatient when the harvest does not arrive overnight. But nature does not operate on human impatience. The farmer who plants in the spring does not reap in the summer. He must first tend the fields, nurture the crop, and protect it from storms and drought. So it is with your dreams. You must nurture your belief daily. You must act even when results are not yet visible. Trust that the forces you have set into motion are working beneath the surface, invisible yet unstoppable. Belief must be backed by definite purpose. It is not enough to vaguely wish for success, for happiness, for wealth. You must know exactly what you seek, and you must hold that image in your mind with precision and clarity. A ship without a course is doomed to drift aimlessly. A mind without a definite goal is easily swayed by doubt and fear. Persistent belief is laser, focused. It knows what it wants, why it wants it, and is willing to pay the price for its attainment. Action born from persistent belief is not random. It is intelligent and deliberate. It studies, it adapts, it learns from failure without surrendering to it. Temporary defeat is seen not as evidence of failure, but as instruction, a valuable teacher guiding you closer to your goal. Every setback contains the seed of an equal or greater advantage, if you are willing to persist long enough to find it. The individual who refuses to quit cannot be defeated by the mere passing of time or the weight of hardship. When you combine belief and action, you step into a creative partnership with the unseen forces of the universe. You become not a victim of circumstances, but a master of them. You understand that your thoughts are causative agents, that your actions are creative tools, and that the reality you experience is the result of the inner picture you hold most consistently in your mind. Hold fast to your vision. Act boldly in its pursuit. Know that reality must eventually conform to the strongest and most persistent mental image. The doubters and the critics will appear. They always do. But their opinions are powerless unless you grant them power. Their doubts are reflections of their own fears, not indicators of your ability. Persist in your belief even when those around you cannot see what you see. Remember that the greatest accomplishments in human history were once ridiculed as foolish dreams. The ones who achieved them were the ones who believed when no one else would, who acted when others hesitated, who persisted when others gave up. There will be days when your belief wavers, when discouragement taps at your door. On those days, return to the source, revisit your vision, rekindle your desire, remind yourself why you began, reaffirm your faith that what you seek is seeking you. Take even the smallest action in the direction of your goal, for even a single step forward keeps the fire alive. Movement strengthens belief, and belief strengthens movement. They are partners in your ascent. Reality reshaped through thought and action does not always announce itself with fanfare. Sometimes it arrives quietly, a gradual unfolding, a subtle shift that, when recognized, reveals how far you have traveled. One day you will awaken and find yourself living the very life you once dared to imagine, and you will realize that it was not one grand act that brought you there, but countless small acts of persistent belief and determined action stacked one upon the other, day after day, morning after morning. You possess within you the creative power of the universe itself, channeled through your thoughts and actions. Doubt it, and you waste it. Believe it persistently and passionately, and you become the master sculptor of your destiny. What you hold most deeply in your mind, backed by unwavering belief and relentless action, must eventually take form in your world. Such is the law, such is the promise, such is the power that lies dormant within you, waiting only for your command to awaken. The old self is nothing more than a memory, a collection of thoughts, habits, and beliefs that you once accepted as true. It is a creation of yesterday, a result of past choices and perceptions, and it holds no real power over the person you decide to become today unless you allow it. The old self lives only in the mind, and it is sustained by your willingness to revisit it, to reaffirm its limitations, and to cling to its familiar patterns. Once you commit fully to the vision of who you wish to be, the old self begins to dissolve, losing its grip on your present and your future. Commitment is the turning point. It is the moment when you no longer negotiate with your fears or bargain with your doubts. It is the moment when you burn the bridges behind you, removing every option except forward motion. True commitment is not a lukewarm intention or a half-hearted promise. It is an unbreakable decision. It is the inner declaration that says, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many obstacles arise, I will become what I have envisioned. When this level of commitment is made, the old self stands no chance of survival. The old you was formed in the comfort zones, in the moments when you accepted less than your true potential. It was shaped by your excuses, your hesitations, your fears of judgment, and your doubts about your worthiness. It clung to what was familiar, even when what was familiar was keeping you small. But the self you are now creating thrives in discomfort, grows stronger in adversity, and seeks out the unknown with courage and faith. It recognizes that the unknown is not a place to fear, but a frontier to conquer. Every step you take in the direction of your new self chips away at the foundation of the old. Every decision made with conviction, every action taken with purpose, every moment spent nurturing your vision adds strength to the new structure you are building. It is a daily process of construction and demolition, of tearing down the limiting beliefs of yesterday and erecting the towering edifice of the person you are destined to be. This transformation does not occur by chance. It occurs by conscious choice, by deliberate repetition, and by unwavering focus. The mind naturally seeks consistency. It tries to maintain the identity it believes to be true. This is why change can feel so difficult at times, because the old self fights for its survival. It whispers that you are not ready, that it is safer to stay the same, that success is meant for others but not for you. These are the dying cries of a self that knows its time is ending. When you hear those voices, do not argue with them. Do not debate your worthiness or your capability. Simply act, simply move. Action is the antidote to the old self's resistance. When you act in alignment with your new identity, even when it feels uncomfortable, you send a powerful message to your subconscious mind. You are telling it, "This is who I am now." Over time, the mind accepts this new identity as truth, just as it once accepted the old one. The key is repetition. The key is persistence. You must reinforce your new self-image daily, not just with thoughts and affirmations, but with tangible actions that reflect the person you are becoming. Understand that the old you was not bad. It was simply limited. It was operating with the best information it had at the time. It was built on survival, on the need to avoid pain and seek comfort. But survival is not the same as living. Thriving requires risk, growth, and the willingness to endure temporary discomfort for the sake of long-term fulfillment. The old self sought to protect you by keeping you small. The new self seeks to liberate you by urging you to expand. The beautiful truth is that you are not bound by your past unless you choose to be. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not your old habits. You are not the labels others have placed upon you. You are the architect of your identity, the sculptor of your character, and the author of your destiny. Each moment of commitment chips away at the chains of the past and frees you to step boldly into the future. The process of shedding the old self is not always comfortable. Growth rarely is. You may feel the pull of old habits, the temptation to retreat into familiar patterns. You may face moments of doubt and fear. But these are merely signs that you are stepping beyond your previous limitations. They are the growing pains of transformation. Embrace them, welcome them as evidence that you are moving forward. There will come a day when the old self is but a distant memory, when you can scarcely recall the person you used to be. You will stand in a reality that once existed only in your dreams, surrounded by achievements that once seemed out of reach. And you will know that it was not a single grand gesture that brought you there, but 1,000 small acts of courage, 1,000 moments of commitment, 1,000 decisions to say yes to the new self and no to the old. Every morning you are given a choice to align with the old self or the new one. Choose consciously, choose with intention. Choose to act in ways that reinforce the identity you are creating. Speak the words your new self would speak. Think the thoughts your new self would think. Move with the confidence your new self embodies. And when the old self tries to pull you back, as it surely will, smile knowingly and step forward anyway. Change is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you. It begins in the mind, it is fueled by emotion, and it is made real through action. The old self can only survive if you keep breathing life into it with your attention and your fear. Withdraw your attention, starve it of your energy, feed only the vision of who you are becoming. Nourish it daily with thoughts of power, acts of courage, and decisions rooted in faith. The moment you commit fully to your transformation, the universe itself moves to support you. Resources appear, opportunities unfold, people are drawn to you who align with your new path. It is as if the very fabric of reality bends to accommodate the new self you are becoming. This is not magic. It is the natural consequence of persistent, focused energy directed toward a clear and unwavering vision. The old you was built unconsciously. The new you must be built consciously. It requires vigilance. It requires honesty. It requires the willingness to confront your fears and move through them. But the reward is beyond measure. It is the realization of your highest potential, the fulfillment of your greatest dreams, and the deep, abiding joy of living life as the fullest expression of who you truly are. There is no need to fight the old self. There is only a need to outgrow it. Focus your energy not on what you are leaving behind, but on what you are moving toward. Let your vision of the future pull you forward with irresistible force. Let your commitment be so strong that the old self fades naturally into obscurity, like a shadow in the rising sun. In every moment, remember that you have the power to choose, and in choosing the new you again and again, you render the old you powerless forever. Each morning, you stand at the threshold of possibility, a sacred moment where you decide who you will be. Life does not hand you your destiny. It invites you to create it, shape it, mold it with the force of your will and the fire of your desire. The habits of yesterday, the patterns that kept you bound, the doubts that whispered limitations into your heart, they are but memories, powerless unless you breathe new life into them. When you awaken with the conscious decision to release the old self, you liberate your spirit to soar toward everything you have ever imagined. It is in those first moments of the day, when the mind is fresh and the world is still quiet, that you have the greatest opportunity to impress your vision upon your subconscious. Begin by declaring that you are new, that you are free, that you are powerful beyond measure. Do not let the gravity of your old patterns pull you back into familiar defeat. Stand firm, choose your thoughts deliberately, fuel them with emotion, and move your body in alignment with the strength you now claim. Each action, however small, is a brick laid in the foundation of your new life. Persistent belief is your greatest ally. It will carry you when doubts try to anchor you in fear. It will push you forward when others do not understand your vision. It will whisper in your ear when the outer world seems slow to respond to your inner change. Remember, the world rearranges itself around your dominant thoughts and your unwavering commitment. Reality bends to the will of the one who knows where they are going and refuses to turn back. Every great achievement was once invisible, nourished only by belief, and watered by relentless action. You are not your history. You are not the mistakes you once made or the fears you once harbored. You are not the labels others placed upon you or the limitations you once accepted. You are the living expression of infinite possibility, sculpted by the hands of your own focused intention. Every morning gives you another chance to step closer to that magnificent version of yourself that is waiting to be fully realized. With every conscious thought, every bold action, every refusal to retreat into the comfort of the old, you move closer to your destiny. The old you was simply a preparation for the greatness now unfolding. It served its purpose, taught its lessons, and now it must be left behind without regret or hesitation. Honor it for what it taught you, but do not cling to it. The future belongs to those who are willing to leave the shore of the familiar and sail boldly into the unknown. Trust that the winds of faith, belief, and action will carry you to shores greater than anything you have ever known. Stand tall each morning in the awareness that you are a creator, a powerful being capable of building a life of purpose, passion, and limitless abundance. The old you dissolves with every courageous step forward. The new you is already being written with the ink of your daily choices. You are no longer chained by what was. You are propelled by what can be. Every morning is a new beginning, a new chance to choose yourself, to honor your dreams, and to walk boldly into the magnificent life that is already waiting for you to claim it.